family. It's SNwadiei. I'm Habasio. Helping your brothers and sisters in Africa. And I am also the Creole Realtist. I'm at Galveston Bay right now in the USA. And just telling y'all good afternoon. How y'all doing? I hope everything is going fabulous with y'all. I'm just checking in with y'all. Y'all know that I check in on TV a little bit, especially some of the YouTube stuff. And sometimes I just in general want to make comments. And one of the things I want to talk about is just everybody's individual experience when they're in the motherland. Everything is different with everybody. And that's what I always say. It's always about relationships. I'll put this on. Now, it's a car making noise, just moving. So I just didn't know if I want to cut this off or not. But anyway, everybody's individual experience is different. And please do not make your judgments by any of our experiences. You need to come here or go there, because I'm always sticking this out of my head that I'm in the motherland, no matter where I'm at. So when I say here, I mean, don't judge any of your future experiences based on anybody else's experience, not even mine. Y'all know I've been going to the motherland for a long time, y'all. At least since 1980. Yeah, early 1980. I was married to my then husband, who's a Nigerian. And we went there and visited his family. And I'm telling y'all, when I got off that plane, I just felt like I was back home. And I had not had anything called a DNA test, and definitely didn't have any family history talking about anything in Africa, period. Here's just how I felt when I got off that plane. Like, oh, we made it, you know? And no, I didn't know anything about non-binary or anything else like that. But I just felt like something inside of me said, we made it. And now I feel like it had to be my ancestors that was just happy that they made it back to the motherland. And since then, I found out the majority of my DNA is West African. A lot of it is Nigerian and Cameroon, which is side by side each other. Some Senegambia. So I think that's why I get along a lot in those particular places. And also, I also have some Liberian in me. So I feel good not knowing, but feeling that some of my ancestors was able to go back home right after they were free. So they ended up in Liberia. So it's nice to know that I do have relatives that's in Liberia. That's one of the places I'd like to visit one day. Not to stay, but to visit. And I don't know if I ever meet any of my DNA relatives, because sometimes you get to interact with the people on those sites and sometimes not, because not everybody wants to have a relationship with you just because they're a DNA relative. Sometimes they're actually trying to write to you for somebody else, and they're not even related to you at all. It's like, I do not want to bond with somebody's husband or somebody's wife. I actually would like to meet and interact with my own cousin, you know. And yes, meeting their spouse afterwards is fine, but I would actually like to know that they themselves are interested in a relationship, not their spouse. Some people just like paperwork stuff, you know, like to know on paper that they did something, they researched something that far. But anyway, like I was saying, do not tie your future relationships on anything anybody else says, but know that if you keep an open mind and you're flexible and go somewhere using some I guess you could say cultural background of where you're going, that would help. So research where you want to go. Know what culture the majority of the people in that area practice. Make sure you have a little pack, if you're female, a little pack of what I call a modish dress pack, which could consist of something simple as just a headscarf and a wrapper for you. Because some people, they just think that they can wear the same thing here as there, even if people wear modish dress. It's not a real problem for me because I've practiced lots of different religions, and one of them was Seventh-day Adventists, and they was real good at modish dress, y'all. I mean, I had and Hebrew Israelites. So I was good at learning how to wear hair coverings and wear dresses that's longer or skirts that's longer. And I was comfortable, y'all. So that's something that I would suggest you have. Just inside of a bag, you know, having something that if you have to have a piece of fabric to wrap your wrap the bottom of you like a skirt, you know, a wrapper, and something to wrap your head, you'll be good to go. Because even in Israel, you'll need something like that if you was going inside of a church or a temple or something like that. So just imagine some of the places you go, shorts may not be a cool thing, or short sleeves, or even just having your head unwrapped, you know. Even if you're simply doing something like walking in the neighborhood, you know, you want to be able to just fit in. Yeah, you look like the people, but if I'm walking around with a t-shirt that just say Galveston every day, they'll definitely know I'm not from there. And I'm just trying to fit in, guys. I'm not trying to be a walking ad for Galveston every day. Not to say I'm ashamed of Galveston, of course not. But yes, I don't have a problem with wearing native dress, local dress, whatever you want to call it. Most of the times when I travel, I get my clothes made by a local dressmaker. It's part of cooperative economics. I've had better luck with the females that have done my clothing, but I did have a dress designer in Ghana who's a male, and he did an excellent job. But no matter who does it, as long as they're good at what they do, it'll work. You just pick your fabric you like and let them know what you want to wear. Sometimes they'll have books that you can pick a style, and sometimes they actually will sketch it out for you. But either way, just negotiate your price before you leave them with your fabric. And that's that job. They make it for you at a reasonable price, and you'll have a one-of-a-kind designer work. And I cannot say when I've been traveling that they were friendlier one place than another, because I believe that people are the same everywhere. Yeah, you know, just like in the United States, if you're, say, in California or New York or even Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Galveston, Texas, you're going to be treated differently because people in those areas have different norms. Galveston is southern, so it's pretty friendly. Atlanta, when I was there last, they was pretty friendly. Reminded me a lot of Galveston. Now, Tulsa, Oklahoma, it just depends. People you don't expect to speak to you actually do speak. And the people you think would speak to you might act like you're outing them for looking like you. You know, it's like people have a lot of issues and going on inside of their heads sometimes. And I know Chicago, you have to know somebody for you to have them treat you in a friendly manner, or either get to know them over time. So anyway, when I was in the Motherland, I've really not had any problem with anybody treating me so much as different or not friendly. I really didn't have that problem. No matter where I was, I didn't have a problem. So anyway, I'm looking at all these little kids running around on bicycles. But anyway, let them pass by me first. Anyhow, wait until they pass me up. You never know with kids. Like I say, they're the same everywhere. One group behavior, they act differently than when they're alone. You never know what their group behavior is going to be. But anyway, they're gone on about their business. But anyway, like I said about the friendliness, it just all depends. When I was in Lagos, Nigeria, I felt like it was my second home. I was there for 2 months with my in-laws. I went to church with them on Sunday. And I'm telling y'all, even when I'd be shopping by myself with the kids, I'd have people there calling me by name because they knew me from church. So you get to make friends with people right away. And people did tell me, welcome home. They did. Right in Nigeria, told me welcome home. And they said, she is one of us, at least when I was in church. I'm just making sure I ain't too close to some of these things, because some of them think you're going to feed them because conditioned response. But anyway, guys, like I was saying, when I was in Nigeria, even in Lagos, I was told welcome home. Most of the time when I get off the plane, people tell me welcome home. They even ask me to come in through the local line, you know. And I tell them I have a U.S. passport, and they be like, oh, no problem, no problem. And they still want me to come through, and they check me out in the local line. So I personally don't have a problem. My cousin was mad at me that traveled with me to Nigeria and Ghana. She said, oh, that's because you have that thing on your head, which was nothing but a head wrap, you know, head wrap, head scarf, whatever. And nobody was stopping her. It was just so easy for me to wear because I was on a plane so many hours. It's like, why comb your hair when you can just have your head wrap on and you look good no matter what? So anyway, guys, I have not had a problem with people not telling me welcome home, no matter if I was in Nigeria or Cameroon or the Gambia. No matter where I went, they told me welcome home. Even in Tanzania, once they knew you were not from there, they did tell us welcome home. They did. They wasn't as friendly because they did not have the transatlantic slave trade there, so they do not feel like you're no sister and brother kind of a thing. And I understand that because that's how people do. A lot of people are into tribalism, and so they identify according to what country you come from. different people group you come from. And I just walked around here because I don't know some of these folk. Even though it's Galveston, I don't want to be interacting with some people. You never know. Can't judge a book by its covers, but still, I'm just trying to do a video. I don't want somebody thinking I'm trying to do a video including them, because I'm not. It's about me trying to do a video for you guys. But anyway, I've not had any problems when I was in the motherland with people telling me welcome home. Like I said, in East Africa was the only place where they didn't have that welcome home as much vibe. But after I did some research and found out about the trans-Sahara slave trade and the slave trade in East Africa, and knowing that I did have a small amount of DNA from East Africa, I started identifying more with what happened to some of the people that came from that area. So yeah, some of my ancestors did come from there, just not the biggest majority. I still identify with West Africa. Reminds me of Louisiana, y'all. Same red dirt. I make friends easily no matter where I am. I went to the Gambia without knowing anybody. But to be fair, I was researching my grandmother's name, and so her very name, Cora, took me to Gambia because they speak English there also, and I just did not want to have to rely on interpreters all the time. So it was only after I got there that I found out that Cora is also a family surname, and was able to meet up with a family who had later non-formally adopted me into the family because of my grandmother's name, and consider me as, you know, the granddaughter of Cora. So Stephanie Folly Cora. So anyway, guys, like I said, it's no comparison to no part of the motherland that I've been in so far, because people are the same everywhere. It's just that everybody has different cultural differences, and viva the difference, and some of the norms are different, and you'll only get to know that once you live there. But if you just, like I always say, treat people like you want to be treated, and you'll have a wonderful time. Research where you want to go first. Know what you want to get out of the trip. And if you're traveling there for the first time and you're not going to be traveling with someone or with a group, if that's something that you're used to, well, that's fine too. But I would suggest, if it's your first time somewhere, to go with another person at least, to make the culture shock not as big. Because I did go with my husband, y'all, to be fair. When I first went there, I was with my husband and our 3 sons. So I did not go to the motherland by myself the first time. It was only much years later, many, many years later, that I went there to Gambia. And I was able to stay with a family through a so-called volunteer organization that you actually pay to have that volunteer experience. But it's nice to know that it made me feel brave enough to go by myself. And now it just feels normal to be a solo traveler, because I have more control over the things that I do. But I would suggest that if it's your first time, go with a group or know somebody that's there, already have a relationship going with that person before you go over there. months until I go back to the Gambia. I'll be going there after malaria season. So it'll be before the year's end, y'all. I just got through talking to one of my friends today, and he says as far as he knows, they're not doing isolation unless you don't get within your 72 hours of arrival. So go on the website and double check before you even get your ticket what's the new requirements for entrance into the country, so you won't be in shock. And remember, do not travel broke, y'all. Go there with extra money. Go there with extra money. If you gotta take your time to go, take your time to go. But don't go nowhere broke. You know, it's not good. You won't enjoy yourself. The country is not going nowhere. None of the countries are going anywhere. Research before you go is what I would suggest. Take your time and build you some good relationships. That's what I suggest. And don't just take people's word for it because you saw them online. We're all just human beings, y'all, telling y'all our human experiences, and it's all good. Like I said, I haven't had any problems no matter where I've been in the motherland. I've had a welcome home at every port of entry and gotten along fine with everybody. But anyway, guys, I'm going to turn this camera around in a minute just so y'all can see what I'm saying. There y'all go, guys. I just want y'all to see a little bit of what I'm saying before I go. Like I say, this is definitely Youngster Bay. It's just another little section of it that I have not really parked here before. But I was in a particular area though. So I hope y'all are enjoying it. It's almost sunset, but not quite. I love the way the water looks. It's always beautiful to me to watch water. Trying to get it close enough where y'all can enjoy some of the motion of the water. There's some rocks that I like looking at. I just enjoy them a little bit. That's more realistic. And if you're looking on your TV, there you go. If you're looking on your TV, please get on the laptop, your computer, and give me a like and a share and comment. I try to get y'all to enjoy the view. I hope y'all can hear some of the motion of the water. I think I'll go out on that little bridge for a minute just so y'all can see the water. Looks a little bit different as you get closer on the bridge. I don't even know if you're supposed to fish from this bridge, but people do fish from the bridge. And this is the wooden deck I'm on, just so y'all can see how it looks. But this is the water from the bridge. There you go. Yeah. You get that experience. I don't know if I feeling of it, but hopefully just a little bit. And this is that rock from one other view. You can get a perspective. And just remember, y'all, people are the same everywhere. You just have to get used to them, and they have to get used to you. Build those relationships. And remember, even when you're bargaining, bargain a decent price. But the whole point about it is building the relationship more than the object that you're purchasing, or even the price that you're paying for it. I love this area, y'all. It just have so many nice views. I hope y'all are enjoying. Like I said, it's almost sunset. People riding around on these boats. I don't have a boat, but I do love just coming and parking at this site and sharing the views with y'all. So I like the way this water looks when it gets up in here. I think it's so pretty. Kind of makes those little bubbles. I love the way the ocean sparkles when the sun shines on it. There's a nice ship. Okay, just a little bit more. Oh, this is funny. This is called a duck field tour, and that's actually an amphibian vehicle that rides around on the ground. It's called duck tours. It rides around on the ground, and then they end up in this Galveston Bay with tourists on it. Just so you can see, yes, Galveston is a tourist place. Last time I saw him coming out of the water, I didn't see him in the water. And I'm like, man, it must go pretty fast for me not to see it that way. Because it was like just a few minutes after I got in my car that I saw them. But and see, in relation to the ship, but it's a tourist thing, y'all. Yeah. Tours. I'm glad I was able to share that with y'all. So imagine you're a tourist in Galveston, and there you go, you know, duck tours. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up for y'all. Well, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the view from where I am and that the water was soothing to y'all like it was to me. And until next time, y'all, peace, peace, power to the people. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Comment down below, like, share, and I'm out, y'all.